Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn another lesson from history, the culture of the Vedic period. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the Vedas, the difference between pre-Vedic period and post-Vedic period, the political institutions of Vedic period, as well as the great epics of India. Now let us study in detail about the Vedic period. A new culture existed in India with the arrival of the Aryan race. The Aryan race has emerged in Central Asia. This is known as Vedic culture, which started in the plains of river Saraswati and later in the plains of river Ganga. And this period in which Vedic literature was formed is called as the Vedic period. Now, what do you mean by Vedas? Veda means knowledge. There are 4 Vedas, namely Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharvana Veda. Among these 4 Vedas, Rig Veda is the oldest and the ancient one. These Vedas were in Sanskrit language. Vedas were in the oral form. And already you came to know that a Vedic culture appeared in the plains of river Saraswati and the river Ghaggar, Accra, which disappeared in the Thar desert of Rajasthan, and the Helmand river of Afghanistan is the ancient Saraswati river. Rig-Vedic period is called as the Pre-Vedic period, and the 3 Vedas such as Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda period is called as the Post-Vedic period. Hope you have understood what is Pre-Vedic period and Post-Vedic period. I'll repeat once again. Rig-Vedic period is called as the Pre-Vedic period, and other 3 Vedas such as Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda period is called as the Post-Vedic period. Now we shall study about Pre-Vedic period. How was the life of the people during Pre-Vedic period? How was the life? The social life. Family was the basic unit. Father was the head of the family. Joint family system was in practice. The prisoners of war were called as slaves, and they were called as dasas and dasyus. Soma and Sura were the liquors were known to the Aryans, and they were using it. So these are about the social lifestyle of the Pre-Vedic period. Let us move on to the position of the women. The women held a respectable position in the society, and they even participated in political institutions. Widow remarriage was in practice. Women also got chance to study Vedas. Child marriages and sati system were not practiced. During this period means Pre-Vedic period, women scholars were leading in the society. They were Gosha, Apala, Lopamudra, Indrani and Vishwavara, etc. So we can say that women held a respectable position in the society. Let us move on to the economic life of the Pre-Vedic period. The people engaged in agriculture and animal rearing. They grew a variety of cereals, used barley, rice, fish and meat as their food. And they also used metals. Many people engaged in weaving of cotton and wool. Some were carpenters and some were blacksmiths. They practiced priesthood and medicine, and they had chance to select their own profession. Next we shall study about the political life. Rajan was the chief of the Aryans, but he was not a dictator and the power was not hereditary. The political institution, Sabha and Samiti and Vidatas played a major role in the administration. The king was a judge and he used to deal with the verdicts or complaints after having a discussion with the elders in his court. The king had all-round duties to look after the welfare of the people and also safeguard the wealth and to give protection to the people of his kingdom. Now let us go through the religious life of the people. They worship gods like Indra, Surya, Soma, Varuna, Mitra, Yama and Ashwini, etc. They perform rituals of yagas and yajnas. Hope you understood the lifestyle of the pre-Vedic period. Now let us learn about the life of the people in the post-Vedic period. As centuries passed, population grew in the area of Sapta Sindhu. There were changes in the lifestyle of the people, and people of Vedic period migrated to the plains of Ganga, Yamuna, and some of them even crossed the mountain ranges of Vindhyas and migrated towards the south. Let us study about the political changes. During the post-Vedic period, the king became more powerful. The position of the political institution called as Vidata was completely diminished. Sabha and Samiti lost their importance and kingship became hereditary, and they performed rituals like Ashwamedha Yaga and Rajasuya Yaga to expand his kingdoms. Next point is about the social changes. Gotra system started during this post-Vedic period. There are 4 ashrams were started. So, in the Vedic period, family traditions influence a person's life and upbringing. The divisions of lifespan of an Aryan into Vedic period. 4 stages was done in the later Vedic period. So, the first stage was Brahmacharya stage. Which was the stage? Brahmacharya stage, which was the period of education and discipline. And the second stage was Grahastha stage, referring to marriage and family life. The third stage was Vanaprastha stage, was for an attempt to gain spiritual and philosophical knowledge. And the fourth or the last stage is Sannyasa stage, is the period of renunciation. The position of the women was lowered and they were kept away from the political institutions. The 4 Varnas also came into existence. They were Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudra. Here, the caste system was not that rigid during Rigvedic period. And the 4 Varnas or the classes were introduced based on the skill level and occupation of each person. The Varnas were not based on the birth of an individual but only on the skills. The 4 Varnas were, as I told you, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. The Brahmanas were the priests who performed religious rituals. The Kshatriyas included the royal and warring classes who fought wars and protected the tribes. The Vaishyas were engaged in agriculture, business and industry. They produced goods for the society. The Shudras served the upper classes. They emerged towards the end of Rigvedic period. Child marriage and sati system also started during this period. Polygamy started among the aristocratic people including the king. Last point of view about the post-Vedic period is the religious life. Religious ceremony became complex and complicated. The yajnas and yagas were done frequently by offering milk, ghee and cereals to the fire. During these rituals led to what? Led to shortage of food. Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva were considered as the major gods. And we are in the last part, that is the epics. The 2 popular epics among the Indians were Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana was written by a great epic written by Valmiki, and Mahabharata was written by Vyasa. These 2 epics guided the life and art of Indian life during this period. So, this is all about the culture of Vedic period. Thank you.